Playing with Power MTG. Powerful cards, powerful formats. Before we get into today's video, I'd like to talk about our sponsor, Into the AM. Into the AM creates premium high-quality apparel that focuses on self-expression and unparalleled comfort. I have tried these shirts myself and they are super comfortable. They have cool shirt designs and they really stand out over so many of my other tees. I really like the way they fit on my body and how soft they feel when I wear them. Into the AM's team of skilled artisans craft each garment from the highest quality fabrics and eco-friendly inks. They support their products with a 30-day money-back guarantee, hassle-free returns, and lightning-fast shipping. They also strive to give back, raising money for scholarships, charities, and support in impactful ways to our communities. Right now, they are running a bundle deal for their graphic tees at 3 for $60, so check out my link in the description below and you'll get an additional 10% off as well. A big thanks for Into the AM for sponsoring today's video. Did you know that we have a podcast? The Playing with Power podcast talks about CEDH, set reviews, tips and tricks to level up your CEDH game, and so much more. Check out the Playing with Power podcast on your favorite podcast aggregator and on YouTube. To get the latest updates on Playing with Power, be sure to check out our social media. Follow us on Twitter, check us out on Facebook, and find us on TikTok. Now, let's start out by showcasing our fighters this evening. First, we have Everett, piloting Kaalia of the Vast. This is a mid-range deck that uses its commander to cheat out huge game-ending demons onto the battlefield to combo off and win. Next, we have Alex, piloting the partner pair of Thrasios Triton Hero and Vial Smasher the Fierce. This deck seeks to control the table, gain incremental advantage, and eventually go for a combo win. After that, we have Tyler, piloting the partner pair of Rograkh, Son of Rograkh, and Tevesh, Doom of Fools. This deck uses its commanders for advantage before using a reality scramble effect to cheat a massive game-ending threat onto the battlefield. Finally, we have Corey, piloting the partner pair of Tevesh, Doom of Fools, and Kraum, Ludovic's Opus. This is a mid-range deck that uses its commanders for card advantage before going for an Oracle Breach Brain Freeze win. Without further ado, let's kick off this sarcastic, saucy, sophisticated satire. Everett won the Momo Challenge and gets to start us off. Everett draws a card for turn and plays an Arid Mesa. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up a Badlands onto the battlefield. He casts a Faithless Looting. He draws 2 and discards 2, including a Sabine's Reclamation. He casts a Lotus Petal and passes the turn. Alex draws and plays a Bloodstained Mire. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up an Underground Sea onto the battlefield. He casts a Mystic Remora. Alex passes. Tyler draws and plays a Wooded Foothills. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up a Badlands onto the battlefield. He casts a Springleaf Drum. Remora triggers and Alex draws. He casts his commander, Rograkh, Son of Rograkh. Tyler ends his turn. Corey draws and plays a Training Center. He casts a Kraum Mox. Remora triggers and Alex draws. Kraum Mox resolves and Corey imprints Dress Down. He casts a Mana Vault and Alex draws again. Corey passes to Everett. Everett draws and cracks his Petal to cast Esper Sentinel. He passes. During his upkeep, Alex pays for his Remora. He draws and plays a Taiga. He casts a Deathrite Shaman. He passes, discarding to hand size. Tyler draws and plays a Verdant Catacombs. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up a Blood Crypt onto the battlefield untapped, paying 2 life. He casts Cabal Ritual. Esper and Remora trigger, and Alex and Everett draw. Then Tyler adds 3 black. He taps his Springleaf Drum to help cast Chalice of the Void, where X equals 2. Remora triggers, and Alex draws. In response, Alex casts Force of Will, paying a life, exiling a blue card, countering Chalice of the Void. With nothing else, Tyler gives the turn to Corey. Corey draws and plays a Polluted Delta. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up an Underground Sea onto the battlefield. He casts his commander, Kraum, Ludovic's Opus. He moves to combat and attacks Alex with Kraum. Alex takes it, and Corey ends his turn. Everett draws and plays a Godless Shrine, into play untapped, paying 2 life. He casts a Lion's Eye Diamond. Remora triggers, and Alex draws. He casts an Underworld Breach. Remora and Kraum trigger, and Corey and Alex draw. With no answers, Underworld Breach resolves. Everett cracks his LED, discards his hand, and adds 3 black. He escapes LED, and Alex draws. He cracks it, adding 3 more black. He escapes Bolas's Citadel, and Alex draws from Remora. Bolas Citadel resolves, and Everett looks at the top card of his library. He pays 2 life to cast Magda, Brazen Outlaw, from the top of his library through Citadel. He pays a life to cast Mana Vault through Citadel, and Alex draws. He casts Mox Opal through Citadel. Remora triggers, and Alex draws again. With no other actions, Everett passes, sacrificing Underworld Breach. During his upkeep, Alex lets his Remora die. He draws and plays a Tropical Island. He casts Dockside Extortionist. It enters, and Alex creates 7 treasures. He casts Phantasmal Image. In response, Tyler casts Deadly Rollick for its alternate cost, targeting Dockside. In response, Alex casts Spell Pierce, targeting Rollick. Esper triggers, and Everett draws. In response, Corey pays 2 life to cast Mental Misstep, targeting Spell Pierce. In response, Alex casts Veil of Summer. Veil resolves, and Alex draws. Then Mental Misstep fizzles, Spell Pierce counters Deadly Rollick, and Phantasmal Image resolves. Image enters as a copy of Dockside Extortionist. It enters, and Alex creates 7 more treasures. He casts an Underworld Breach of his own. He casts Demonic Tutor, fetching up a card into his hand. He casts Brain Freeze with all copies targeting himself, milling his library. He casts Thassa's Oracle. Oracle enters, and with a trigger on the stack, he casts Demonic Consultation. Consultation resolves, Alex names Sloppity Bile Piper, exiling his library. Oracle's trigger resolves, and Alex wins the game. The team decided to go again, and Alex gets to start us off. Alex draws and plays a Flooded Strand. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up an Underground Sea onto the battlefield. He casts a Soul Ring. He casts a Felwar Stone. He casts a Lion's Eye Diamond. With an amazing turn 1, Alex passes. Tyler draws and plays a Badlands. He casts Imperial Seal. He fetches up a card onto the top of his library and loses 2 life. He casts his commander, Rograkh, son of Rograkh. Tyler gives the turn to Corey. Corey draws and also plays a Badlands. He casts a Rite of Flame, adding 2 red. He casts an Arcane Signet. Corey passes. Everett draws, plays a Command Tower, and passes the turn. Alex draws and plays a Gemstone Caverns. He casts his commander, Vial Smasher the Fierce. He casts Springleaf Drum. He taps it to cast Diabolic Intent, sacrificing Vial Smasher as an additional cost. He holds priority and cracks his LED, discards his hand, and adds 3 blue. He fetches up a card into his hand. He casts a Rhystic Study. Alex gives the turn to Tyler. Tyler draws and casts a Mana Crypt. Rhystic triggers and Alex draws. He plays a Shattered Skull to hammer pass into play untapped, paying 3 life. He casts Reality Scramble, targeting Rograkh. Rhystic triggers and Alex draws again. Everyone knows that this is trouble, but no one has an answer, so Scramble resolves. Tyler puts Rograkh into the command zone and then flips until he reveals a Void Winnower, putting it onto the battlefield. With this huge threat now there, Tyler ends his turn. Corey draws and plays a City of Brass. He taps it to help cast Burgi, God of Storytelling. Corey passes to Everett. Everett draws, looks at Void Winnower, misses his land drop, and passes, discarding to hand size. Alex draws and plays a Steam Vents into play untapped, paying 2 life. He recasts his commander, Vial Smasher the Fierce. Alex ends his turn. During his upkeep, Tyler loses his Mana Crypt roll and takes 3 damage. He draws and casts Jessica's Will, targeting Everett, paying the Rhystic tax. He adds 7 red. He recasts his commander, Rograkh, and Alex draws through Rhystic. He retraces Reality Scramble from his graveyard, discarding a swamp, targeting Rograkh, paying the Rhystic tax. Everyone saw what happened last time, and they all plead with each other to stop this from happening. Unfortunately, no one has an answer again, and Reality Scramble resolves. Tyler puts Rograkh into the command zone and then flips until he reveals a Sire of Insanity, putting it onto the battlefield. He moves to combat and attacks Alex with Void Winnower. Alex takes it and Tyler passes. At the end of Tyler's turn, Sire of Insanity triggers and all players discard their hands. Corey draws and casts Demonic Consultation. Rhystic triggers and Alex draws. Burgi triggers and adds a red. Consultation resolves and Corey names Reanimate. He exiles the top 6 and then exiles until he finds Reanimate, putting it into his hand. He taps a City of Brass to cast Reanimate, targeting Razaketh the Foul-Blooded in Everett's graveyard. Rhystic triggers and Corey pays. Burgi triggers and adds a red. Razaketh enters and Corey loses 8 life. Corey activates Razaketh, paying 2 life, sacrificing Burgi, and fetching up a card into his hand. He attempts to cast Phantasmal Image, but Tyler reminds him of the Void Winnower on the battlefield. Unfortunately, with nothing else to do, Corey passes, and everyone discards their hands. Everett draws and plays a Scalding Tarn. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up a Badlands onto the battlefield. Everett passes. Alex draws and casts a Spellseeker. Vial Smasher triggers and deals 3 to Tyler. Spellseeker enters and Alex fetches up a Chain of Vapor into his hand. He casts Chain of Vapor, targeting Void Winnower. Winnower is bounced and Tyler doesn't continue the chain. Alex casts his commander, Thrasios, Triton Hero. He moves to combat and attacks Everett with Vial Smasher. Everett takes it and Alex passes the turn. During his upkeep, Tyler loses his Mana Crypt roll and takes 3 damage. He draws and casts Karn, the Great Creator. Rhystic triggers and Alex draws. He activates Karn's first ability with no targets. He moves to combat and attacks Alex with Sire of Insanity. Alex takes it, Tyler passes, and everyone discards their hand. Corey draws and casts a Mana Crypt. Rhystic triggers and Alex draws. He moves to combat and attacks Karn with Razaketh, killing it. In his second main phase, Corey casts his commander, Kraum, Ludovic's Opus. Rhystic triggers and Alex draws again. Corey ends his turn, and everyone discards their hands. Everett draws, takes no actions, passes, discarding their hand. Alex draws and plays a Wooded Foothills. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up a Badlands onto the battlefield. He activates Thrasios, scrying 1, and revealing a Demonic Tutor into his hand, which is the best thing he could have asked for. He casts Demonic Tutor. Vial Smasher triggers and deals 2 to Corey. Then Alex fetches up a card into his hand. He casts Underworld Breach. Kraum triggers and Corey draws. In response, Corey activates Razaketh, paying 2 life, sacrificing his Kraum, fetching up a card into his hand. Then Breach resolves. Alex escapes LED. He cracks it for 3 blue. He escapes LED and then cracks it for 3 black. He escapes Mnemonic Betrayal. Unfortunately, no one has any answers, Betrayal resolves, and everyone exiles their graveyards. Alex casts Corey's LED from exile. He escapes Demonic Tutor, fetching up a card into his hand. He cracks Corey's LED, discards his hand, which includes Thassa's Oracle, and adds 3 blue. He escapes Thassa's Oracle. It enters, and with the trigger on the stack, he casts Everett's Demonic Consultation from exile. He names the most dangerous gamer and exiles his library. Oracle's trigger resolves, and Alex wins the game. Ladies and gentlemen, what a crazy set of games tonight. Congrats to Alex on both of his wins. In Game 1, he was able to turbo out a win before anyone could stabilize. He fought through the interaction everyone was holding and was able to close out the game quickly. In Game 2, everyone was completely stopped by both Void Winter and Sire of Insanity. Everyone was relying on top decks and it wasn't quite paying off for anyone involved. Alex ended up with some great hits off the top and used that to navigate the complicated graveyards before bringing the game to a close. The most valuable card tonight, sponsored by Luxury Playstyle, goes to Sire of Insanity. Everyone's game grinded to a complete halt when Void Winter was on the battlefield, but it was Sire of Insanity that shut everything down completely. People only getting one card to use before having to discard it made everyone's game plans pretty much unavailable. It was then the big graveyards that allowed Alex to chain together a win through Underworld Breach and Mnemonic Betrayal. Did you like this video with no opening hands? We always try out new things to see what works and what doesn't. Let us know in the comments below. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode. Tune in next time when we duke it out to see who will be king of the competitive EDH table. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.